The old engine of the beast, my battered 15-year-old compact car, finally sputtered into a silent, defeated halt in the staff parking lot. Just as I sighed and prepared to face my desk, a sleek, gleaming silver luxury sedan glided to a stop beside me. The tinted window lowered and my colleague Vivian smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "That thing is going to kill your career, Audrey," she purred, her voice dripping with venomous pity. "It screams failure. Honestly, you look like you just crawled out of a swamp." A wave of white-hot shame and blinding rage washed over me. I stood there, trapped between my broken car and her expensive cruelty, my jaw locked so tight I tasted blood. "My name is Audrey Keller. I'm a financial analyst, and that dented, sputtering car was the physical symbol of the sacrifice I was making. Every spare penny I earned went directly to funding my younger sister's ongoing, expensive medical treatments." Vivian knew this, which made her attack deeply personal. She wasn't mocking a car, she was mocking my difficult life choices. What the hell just happened to her? I asked myself, shaking with silent fury. I forced myself to walk away, but the sting of public humiliation clung to me like exhaust fumes. Later that morning, in the break room, Vivian was holding court, whispering loudly to a cluster of colleagues about professional image and people who can't prioritize. She caught my eye and flashed a cruel, triumphant smirk. I realized she wasn't just insulting me, she was deliberately trying to undermine my credibility at work. We were both up for the same crucial promotion to senior analyst. I pulled up a photo on my phone, a picture of my sister in a hospital bed, smiling weakly. That picture was my true priority, the reason my savings were drained. I looked at the photo, then focused on Vivian's expensive shoes as she walked past. She used my love as a weapon. Fine, I will use her arrogance as fuel. I put a sticky note on my monitor, the beast to the beast. My old car was a temporary necessity. My future car would be a symbol of my permanent financial triumph. I immediately channeled all my energy into my specialty, finding undervalued assets and maximizing returns. My new focus became hyper-efficiency and absolute secrecy. 6 months of silence. I never reacted to Vivian's petty jabs. I worked twice as hard, often staying late to complete projects others had overlooked. I deliberately avoided talking about money, my car, or my personal life. I became a ghost of efficiency. Vivian, meanwhile, was doing the opposite. She started driving a brand new leased SUV, constantly flashing the keys and bragging about the payments. She bought expensive designer clothes she couldn't afford and made loud, frivolous purchases. She's sacrificing future stability for immediate status. I logged her spending patterns mentally. Working on a high-level financial audit, I noticed an unusual pattern in the company's internal investment portfolio. A key asset was severely undervalued but poised for an explosive short-term return. It was privileged information, but legally accessible through my new project. This is the springboard I need. I quietly, legally, and ethically mirrored the small public portion of that investment using my private savings, the little I still had. This wasn't insider trading, it was calculated, data-driven foresight. I felt the familiar thrill of the long game. 3 months in, the investment paid off, bigger than I had projected. My portfolio swelled. I immediately transferred the profits into a separate secure account. I now had the capital. I didn't tell anyone. I still drove the beast. I knew Vivian's dream car, the Porsche Macan, specifically the limited edition S model in a rare metallic volcano gray. She had left the car configurator open on a shared computer once. I took a photo. Now I contacted 3 high-end out-of-state dealers, requesting a quote. The plan moved from theoretical to tactical. The time for the senior analyst promotion review arrived. Vivian, focused on her spending, had let her most critical project lag. I, quiet and relentless, delivered my projects early and with stunning accuracy. Our boss, Mr. Thompson, called us both in. 13. The promotion interview. During my interview, Mr. Thompson focused not on my clothes or my car, but on my financial projections and my discipline. He paused and looked directly at me. Audrey, I appreciate that you live within your means, unlike some others. He clearly saw Vivian's recklessness. The discipline my life required was my greatest professional asset. The email arrived late Friday. Congratulations, Audrey. You have been promoted to senior analyst. I read the email once, quietly, alone in my office. No celebration, no noise. The true celebration would come later. Vivian was furious about the promotion. She spent the next day loudly complaining about favoritism. But then, I noticed a change. She started looking stressed, making tense phone calls, and aggressively ignoring the bank statements that arrived on her desk. The facade is cracking. I used my newfound income and my investment profits. I called the out-of-state dealer and wired the payment. I didn't lease, I bought it outright, cash, fully titled in my name. The car was the Volcano Gray Macan S. The dealer promised discreet delivery to my apartment garage. I got a tip from a sympathetic coworker in accounting. Vivian had defaulted on her highly leveraged car loan. She had overextended herself with her flashy lifestyle. Her own arrogance was now consuming her. 2 days later, at 6 p.m., the parking lot was almost empty. I watched from the window as a tow truck discreetly hauled Vivian's luxury SUV away. She rushed out, screaming, distraught, and utterly humiliated in front of the few remaining employees. She lost her status symbol because of the same financial recklessness she mocked me for lacking. The next morning, my phone buzzed with an unfamiliar number. I let it go to voicemail. The message was Vivian, voice thick with tears and desperation. "Audrey, I know you hate me, but I'm stranded. My car's gone. I have a huge meeting downtown. I literally have no other way. Please, I need a ride." I listened to the message twice. I felt no rage, just a profound, cold sense of duty. I calmly called a local mechanic to finally, officially, donate the beast. Then, I walked to my secure garage. I pressed the key fob and the Macan S's headlights flashed, illuminating the perfectly polished volcano gray paint. I called her back. "Vivian? This is Audrey. I got your message. What's the address?" I sounded calm, professional, and slightly detached. She stammered the location, a street corner near a coffee shop she couldn't afford to be seen taking a taxi from. I drove the Macan S to the corner. The engine was a deep, quiet purr of power. Vivian was standing there, looking frantic and small. She saw the car, her exact dream car, pull up, but didn't register who was driving. I gently tapped the horn. She rushed to the passenger door. Significant emotional payoff. I leaned over and smoothly hit the button, lowering the passenger window. Vivian froze, recognizing me, her face a mask of shock and dawning horror. I looked her dead in the eye, my voice a quiet, ice-cold statement of fact. "Hop in, Vivian," I said, giving a small, sharp smile. "Wouldn't want you to ruin your career by screaming failure on a street corner." She didn't speak the entire ride, sinking into the luxurious leather. The silence in the $150,000 car was deafening. I drove her to her meeting, pulled up exactly to the curb, and stopped. I unlocked her door. "That's your stop," I said. I didn't wait for a thank you or a look. As she stumbled out, I pulled the Macan S into traffic, leaving her standing there with the ruins of her pride. Driving away, the new car's power felt like a physical extension of my own strength. I felt no need to contact her again. She had the full measure of her consequence. Vivian didn't just mock my broken car, she mocked the necessity that drove me. She judged my struggle, not my potential, but what she saw as a temporary failure was actually my greatest advantage, the discipline to prioritize my goals over appearances. I didn't need to yell or fight. I just needed to show her what real success, the kind that can't be repossessed, looks like. Final line: never let someone define your worth by the temporary things you lack. Your discipline is your greatest asset. Build quietly, pay cash, and let your results drive the final conversation.